Hello and welcome to Stampin' on the Hill. I'm Deb Keyes. This is the week of the month where we do a monthly sketch challenge. And if you didn't see it already, I posted on Monday what the challenge actually looks like. And because we're using the products of the month, which is the Christmas Tags and More designer series paper, along with the Greetings for You Ephemera Pack. My version of the sketch is going to be using those products as well. If you didn't already catch last week's video about, well, it's usually in the technique spot, but it was a lot using making your own tag templates and stuff like that. Go back and watch that one. I also want to just say before we get going, well, no, that's fine. Let me show you the sketch. Oops. Push the wrong button. There's the sketch. There we go. So here's the sketch, and it's got kind of a white background on the sketch. This white part is really just the background. And then you can make this, I just did a sketch. You can make it how you want, and I'm going to modify mine a little bit in today's video, but there's that. And then let's just jump right down to my hands, and I will start with, I'm going to take this piece that I showed you last week. It was a little bit too wide, so I'm going to trim it down to 2 inches. And I believe it's it's almost 4 1/4. It doesn't matter really the length. But we're going to go with that. And then I'm going to use my tag template that I made last week, which is this piece. And I made it out of the backer sheet that comes with the DSP. And I'm going to just line this up. And I'm going to trim the edges. This template makes it so easy to have very consistent. I guess I'll just trim this. I think I'm going to trim this way. Oops, to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. And then I'm going to trim from the corner to the top of my first cut mark, and from this corner back to the top of this mark. There we go. Let's move all this out of the way. So now I have a tag, and I'm just bringing in, we talked about this a little bit last week too, I'm just bringing in a hole punch that I have that will work. If you already have hole punches, please feel free to use those instead of buying new ones. But I did mention too that there is a hole punch assortment pack. You get 3 different styles of little mini punches in a pack, and those you can purchase on my online store. But for now, we're using this, and then I'm going to Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here, and I have finally replaced one of my plates. So now I took my previously used top plate, and I'm going to put it on the bottom, and you can see there's cut marks in it. Those are from classes. But I'm going to use my DSP. Let me show you what I did for one of my other ones while we're right here. So this piece used to look like this. And so I took and cut this out from here, and that's why it looks like that. So then I made this cute little tag that also fits the description of our, well, we're going to finish that one. But for now, let's do this and this. Put this in here. This is about the same. It doesn't have to be exact. I know I have measurements on the, it doesn't matter, I guess, which way I put this on here. I do have measurements on the graphic itself, but you don't have to make them that same exact. I mean, maybe you want yours to be narrower, or maybe you want them to be a little shorter. It doesn't matter. But just to give you an idea of what the sketch, you're definitely welcome to modify the sketch however you like. So I'm thinking I'm going to put that here. So I might as well just glue it down. And then I wanted to use, within the pack of DSP, this doesn't look straight, does it? There it goes. Within the pack of DSP, there are also some die cuts. So I'm going to grab one of those out of the DSP. It's just a die cut. And I'm going to put that in the middle here. And then I'm going to bring in the Ephemera Pack. I'm going to move it up a little bit. I'll bring in the Ephemera Pack, and you get 2 each of these sheets in a whole pack. But I'm going to, oops, that's another die cut. I'm going to use Merry Christmas on mine. And maybe, let's see, I was going to put it this way. Maybe I was going to put one on this one too. Actually, maybe I'll use that one there. And then maybe use this Merry Christmas here. That'll work. All right. And these are actual stickers, the Ephemera Pack. So let me show you what I'm going to do here while we finish this one here. I'm going to take off the backing. Maybe if I can get it off. All right. And I kind of wanted it to go like right across the center. But keep in mind now that I have it stuck down that these ends right here that are sticking up are still sticky. So I'm going to bring in my embossing buddy. You've heard me talk about this. And I'm going to just kind of de-stickify these stickers. And it's just got some powder in here. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's for embossing so that your embossing powder doesn't stick where you don't want it to. But it's also good for this. So there's a tip for you. And then this one, I'm just going to put at the end here like this. Get these off. And then I'll probably have to de-stickify the bottom of that one too. I could put it in the middle. I think I like it here. And then we're going to just de-stickify that a little bit. So you can see it's got some white powder in there. That's okay. And then I just grabbed a piece of red and white baker's twine. This is the real red and white baker's twine. And I'm going to just loop it this way. And then I'm going to take my loop and put it through from the front to the back in my hole that I made. And then I'm going to feed the tails through the loop and back up to the top. I guess I would have preferred my hole to be a little bit closer to the edge, but this works. So there you have a couple of them. I made a bunch. These are some of the examples that I made for the different tags. They don't necessarily fit the sketch description, but these are the ones that I made as examples that you can make out of a half a sheet or a half a pack of DSP and a half of the Ephemera Pack. And I still have more, I still have more supplies left over. So you get a bunch of stuff. Those are going to be in the class. You can join the class either in person or virtually. But this is what I have for you today. And as always, with the monthly sketch challenge, should you choose to accept the challenge, post your pictures of what you made with the sketch and everybody who takes the challenge and posts their pictures will be entered into a drawing, and I will be giving away a prize. If you want more details about these particular couple of tags that I made, I will make sure to post them on my blog. And if you don't already subscribe to the newsletter, make sure you do that. That's where I post most of the promotions and the upcoming classes and all that stuff. So I will make sure I post the blog and the newsletter subscribe button in, or link in the description of this video. Next week we are doing more scrapbooking, so I hope to see you then. And until then, thanks for watching.